Hello everybody and welcome to another video on my channel. In today's video we'll be doing the long-awaited tour of the Almacenes Unidos huge store in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. Now, to give you a bit of a background, Almacenes Unidos is pretty much like Home Depot meets Walmart. So you got everything here from construction materials to furniture, lighting, plumbing, everything you can possibly imagine is located in Almacenes Unidos, and they actually have very, very good prices as well. So let's start the tour. Come with me and let's check out this beautiful store in Punta Cana. So guys, we're going to be starting with the second story of Almacenes Unidos because the first one is extremely crowded right now, but we're gonna go back there later. The second story actually consists mostly of appliances and furniture overall, and of course some decor and also outdoor furniture too. So just to give you an idea more or less of what is there and what the prices are, let's start in this section right here, which actually has image and sound, right? So it actually consists of a lot of things you can get, starting with, of course, TV. I actually got my TV here. When it first opened, it was a really, really good deal. And it's still working beautifully to this day. This store, I think it's about a year and a half old, approximately, so it's relatively new still. But it has so much inventory. You can definitely get anything you can imagine here. So let's start with this section here. So just to take a look at a couple of TV options we have here, for example, the one that you see in the back right here, which is a 75-inch TV, is actually 50,000 pesos, which equals to about $836 US. It's a very good price for such a huge TV. And naturally, it's a smart TV. It's got all the functions you can possibly imagine. Then something like this, for example, which is a 65-inch TV. I think this is the exact same one I got. It is now 34,000 pesos. Which translates to about $580 US. So it's actually a very good price still for something this big, and it has really, really good quality of image too. Now let's move on to this section over here. So you can also buy some sound systems. Again, to give you an idea of a sound system like this one, we're looking at about 5,600 pesos. That's about $100, $100 US. And we actually even have AC units we can buy here, the inverter split units. So for example, one that is, I think this is 18 BTU. Yeah, 18,000 BTU, for example, is 40,000 pesos, which translates to about $670 US for an 18,000 BTU AC unit. Moving on to the section of kitchen appliances, so let's take a look what there is to get here. I get these questions all the time, so I think this is going to be really useful for you guys to get an idea of how much it costs to kind of furnish your home with the appliances and furniture in Punta Cana. For example, a fridge of this size, for reference, this is about 6 feet tall. Well, yeah, approximately. And this one, the brand is Frigidaire. And there's actually a discount now throughout the store. Whenever you see this red sticker, it actually means it's currently discounted. So there's a 20% off on this one, and it's currently priced at 32,000 pesos, which translates to about $530 US approximately for a fridge like this. And just out of curiosity, I found the most expensive fridge here, just so you guys can see how much that is in this store particularly. This one right here, which is actually an inverter, has inverter technology. And it's also Frigidaire, so something like this would be 57,000 pesos, also discounted today, which translates to roughly $950 US for the most expensive fridge over here. Now moving on to the section where you can find the stove options. Just again to give you an idea, a stove such as this one would be about 27,000 pesos. Let me do the conversion quickly. That would be about 450 US for something like this. However, if you want to go a bit more advanced and you want to get something like this, again, this is Frigidaire, just for reference purposes. Something like this would be 63,000 pesos. And this one is not discounted. So 63,000 pesos, we're looking at about $1,000 for a stove like this. So, anywhere from 400 to 1,000, there's a wide range of options, tailored to everybody's budget. Guys, moving on to the washer and dryer section. Let's take a look at what we can get here. So for example, something like this, let's say, which is just a washer, it's not a dryer. Something like this, which is pretty spacious too, would be about 32,000 pesos. 32,000 pesos translates to 530 US dollars approximately. So something like this for 32,000. And then over here, I think this is slightly smaller than the other one. And it's also just a washer. We're looking at about 23,000 pesos, so even more affordable. 23,000 pesos, we're looking at about 380 US dollars. And to take a look at the washer dryer, which are stackable, this is what you typically get in new construction projects. If you buy in a project that says that it does come with the washer and dryer included, this is pretty much what you're getting, some version of this. They're typically always connected, and of course, it's one unit that's just stacked on top of the other. So something like this, to give you an idea, right now it's also discounted. We're looking at about 79,000 pesos. For a unit like this, that is about 1,300 US dollars. This one, pretty much the same. And if we take a look over here for the one that is a bit more premium, right, in terms of quality, this is Frigidaire, again, which is a good brand. With the discount, both these units together, we're looking at about, let me take a look, 92,000, so 1,540 US dollars for something like this. And continuing with the kitchen appliances, let's take a look at some microwaves. For example, one like this, again, Frigidaire, would be 9,500 pesos. We're looking at about $158 for a microwave like this one. And let's, actually, yeah, well, in this section, you have a bunch of them as well. All different kinds of brands. Let me take a look at one that is the most expensive. I would say it's this one. Yeah, this one that is Panasonic. So a microwave like this, huge, by the way. We're looking at about 18,000 pesos, which is also discounted. So 18,000 pesos, about 300 US dollars. Guys, let's check out a couple of toaster options as well. So a toaster, Kitchen Pro brand, we're looking at about 3,000 pesos. That's roughly 50 US dollars. So again, you got a bunch of them over here. And on this side, we can actually find air fryers. Now, this is vastly popular now, pretty much worldwide. For an air fryer, we are looking at, well, roughly 5,000 pesos, 6,000 pesos. That's again $100, starting from $100 all the way to $140, depending, of course, on the capacity and the brand. And guys, continuing on the second floor, here we have a section that's dedicated to the vacuum cleaners. Now, this is not something that is very commonly found anywhere in the Dominican Republic. People do not tend to have a lot of vacuum cleaners because usually, again, we have a service who cleans and typically mops the floor. But it's actually good to have one, of course, as I'm sure you know. So here we have that. So just as a reference, these are actually now discounted. They have 20% off. This one is about 5,000 pesos, so this turns out to be about $90 for this vacuum cleaner. And we actually also have the robotic ones, which are of course not very popular. They range from about $150 to about $200 for this one, which seems to be the best option here. And guys, in this very section, you can find everything relating to barbecue and different barbecue appliances that you can buy, charcoal, grills, everything you can possibly imagine in that relation. So just to get an idea of the prices here, for example, something like this, which is also, I believe, yeah, they're all discounted. They all have 15% off right now. So this is 21 30,000 pesos. That's after the discount, and that turns out to be 350 US dollars approximately for something of this size. If we take a look at a small, I think that's the smallest version. Let me check over. No, well, something like this, for example, which is definitely much smaller, is 5,000 pesos. So again, $90 for something this small. And if we're going for something much bigger, like this one, for example, we're looking at about 59 or 60,000 pesos actually after the 15% discount, and that turns out to be about $900, well, about $1,000 for a barbecue of this size. Guys, we're now going to head to the left section of the second floor. We kind of finished just looking at all the right section with the appliances and everything else. In this left section, the second floor, is where we have all the furniture options. So that's really, really nice. Not all, but most furniture is located on the second floor. We're going to start with this section right here, where you can actually find bed sheets, bed covers, everything that you need in that regard. So just to give you guys an idea of the pricing for that, for example, a three-piece set of the covers for the bed would be 2,600 pesos. So we are looking at about $40 for a three-piece set for a king-size bed. Then we also have different options here. We have a twin, king, and I think we have also the queen I've seen around here. Yes, the queen as well. So we have definitely all of that, starting at about $40. And I'm looking here. Yeah, so a set of, for example, a two-piece would be 1,700 pesos. So that's about $28. So very, very affordable. Compared to other options, for sure, this is a very, very good price for something like this. So around here, we also have a lot of decorative elements, decorative pillows you can get. Just as an example, 2 decorative pillows right here are about $90. We've got a comforter set for, again, about $50, a 3-piece comforter set. And right here, we also have pillows you can get. These used to be popular back in the day, but I still like them very much. These are the memory foam ones. They're really good if you have any back and neck issues. Those start at about 3,500 pesos, so that is about 57 US dollars for a memory foam pillow. So continuing down the same section, we found some really good options for bed sheets, starting at 1,700 pesos. So this is even cheaper than what we've seen before. So starting again at about $28 for a bed sheet set for a queen size bed. So all of this pretty much is that. Then you can also get some pillow protectors for allergens, etc. And here, if I'm not mistaken, this is what you can put on top of the bed, like an extra cover, like a memory foam cover on the bed that makes it really, really soft and nice, if that's what you like. I love it. So you can get that here as well for different bed sizes. And guys, right next to the bed sheet area and the pillow area, here we have a lot of different bed options you can buy. So you can buy the bed frame, you can buy the mattress. All of that is also available here in Almacenes Unidos. So just as an example, a bed like this which is a king size bed. The frame is 40,000 pesos. So again, 40,000 pesos, let's be precise. 660 US dollars for the frame, and for the mattress, that would be about 64,000, so about $1,000 for the mattress of a king-size bed over here. But of course, we have different options that I'm going to show you in a second. Guys, right next to the bed section, we have a lot of different window curtains that you can buy. And I always get asked this question by my clients, like, where can I get curtains for my new condo? There's so many different options. You can also get them custom made, but a store like Almacenes Unidos does offer them as well. That you can buy them here, and they're pretty much one of the most affordable curtains you can get, but they're still good. For example, something like this would start at about 985 pesos. So that would translate to roughly $16. But you do have a range of options here, or you can get them custom made, or of course, I'm happy to recommend all the possible options. And in this section, right next to the beds, we actually have quite a selection of mattresses. And you can see they are all named differently, right? So it's different models of the mattress. We got a Harrington, Royal Mount, and the Back Saver. I'm a big fan of the Back Saver by the name itself. So let's check it out. Just to give you guys an idea of the pricing here. So we have a queen size mattress. It's 32,000 pesos. So 32,000 pesos. One moment. That comes out to be about $527 for the queen size one, and for the king size one is actually 43,000 pesos. So of course it's a bit more. 43,000 turns out to be about $700 for the back support. Yes. Very nice. So there's all of these over here. And then on this section right here, you also have, I think, yes, it's a different brand. This is Sealy and this is Simmons. But they also have a back support fit, among other models. And just to compare, let's see the price over there. No, sorry, other side. Here we're looking for a queen one. Actually, it's a bit more. So for the queen size mattress, we're looking at 50,000 pesos. For the back support, oh, this is really nice. That's $824. Very, very, definitely feels great. So you definitely have a lot of options for mattresses here in Almacenes Unidos, Punta Cana. On the second floor, they also have these mini showrooms that they've done in different sections. For example, this one where you can see the whole bedroom and everything that they offer, pretty much turnkey. Just as a reference, let's say a mirror like this one is 17,000 pesos here, which translates to roughly $280 for this decorative mirror, which I don't think is a part. Actually, yeah, it is a part of this. It's a part of this entire set. So that would be, the entire set would be that plus this one right here, which is 58,000. So 58,000 translates to about $950 for this over here. Then we've got, I believe it's a queen size bed right here. Yeah, it should be a queen. So, no, sorry, it's a full. This is a full, and the price is 57,000 pesos for that one, translating to about $940 right here. So besides that, they also offer closet options, as you can see right here. So a closet of this side with 4 doors would come out to about 76,000 pesos. 76,000 pesos, that's about $1,300, if I'm not mistaken. 76,000, $1,250 US. And guys, as an example of a living room setup right here, we have this beautiful sofa that is priced at 66,000 pesos. 66,000 pesos translates to about $1,80, which is an L-shaped sofa right here. You got a little cup holder right there. And a coffee table here, which is now being offered at 25% off. We're looking at 30,000 pesos, so that's about $500 US for this marble coffee table, which is really nice. And And guys, I just wanted to mention briefly that on this second level, we actually have an entire section designated to textiles. So you can buy all different types of fabric right here in Almacenes Unidos. And in this section, of course, besides fabric, you can also find some more curtain options. I'm going to show you in a second. You can also get the blackout curtains right here. Guys, still on the same floor, now we have an entire section dedicated to kitchen, essentially. So here we can get a lot of pots, pans, knives, forks, everything you need related to cooking is located right here. So just to give you a basic example of, let's say, this fry pan, 9-inch fry pan, we're looking at about 935 pesos. So about $15 for a frying pan just like that. Now, continuing down this area, what else? Let me check what I can mention, because there's just so many things. It's crazy. It's absolutely... This is a huge store, so we're trying to record as much as we can, but it's definitely a lot. So, for example, some nice decorative plates like this. Let's say this one right here, something like this, very beautiful, is 1,200 pesos. Again, $20 for something like that. We have naturally all the coffee cups. For your Airbnb, for example, a coffee cup like this is 142 pesos. This is very affordable. We're talking, 1 second. I just want to be precise with prices. $2, right? So something like this is $2 for a coffee cup. For this one is $2.5. So yeah. Definitely, there's variety, right? So there's more expensive options, there's more affordable options. And continuing down this section, again, still in the kitchen area, tons and tons of kitchen stuff. We've got kitchen towels, we've got gloves, and here, of course, we have some coffee machines. Well, machines, not really. This is what we call a greca in Dominican, in Spanish, and this is what's very typically used here for coffee. Here you can make that delicious Santo Domingo coffee. So something like that, a greca would be 635 pesos, so $10 approximately for that. Continuing down this area, we have plenty of dining table options, as you can see all around me. To give you guys an idea, let's say this one right here, a dining table like this would be 71,000 pesos. So we're looking at roughly 1,200 US dollars for something like this. And of course, chairs that go along with it. We have, let's take a look. For example, a chair like this right here that matches the table is 12,000 pesos each. So that would be $200 each. Now, naturally, you have plenty of options there. And guys, of course, besides the dining tables, the thing is that you can also buy the entire kitchen setup here. So they sell absolutely everything you can imagine here in Almacenes Unidos. So countertops, drawers, all of that is what you can get right here. And naturally, the appliances, which we saw at the beginning of the video. Guys, we're now in a section that is completely dedicated to the exterior of your apartment or your house. So here you can add a lot of outdoor furniture options. And what's nice about Almacenes Unidos is that they always have something on discount, right? So you just gotta, make sure to frequent it often so you can catch those good discounts. But there's always something that that's discounted here pretty much. So it's very affordable depending on what you get. And on top of that, you can always find good deals. Right here. So for example, this one here is 40% off right now, this very large outdoor dining table, and we're looking at about 87,000 pesos. It's very spacious as well. It's about 1,400 US dollars for this. And then, for example, a chair that goes with it, like this, is also 40% off, and it's currently 20,000 pesos. So that's about $300 for a chair like this. And guys, an outdoor setup like this one, this table right here is priced at 59,000 pesos, so 970 US dollars. And this right here is priced at 134,000 pesos, which translates to 2,200 pesos for this whole set. Guys, we just left the second floor, so there's different ways to go down. This is just one of them in the back. And as soon as you leave this area, you also have some more outdoor furniture options outside. Actually, they still have options here. So to give you a nice idea of pricing for these very simple chaise lounges, so something like this goes up for about 7,000 Dominican pesos. It's about 120 US dollars approximately. This one for 8,000 pesos, so 130, 140 US dollars. Yeah, so all of this section again is furniture. They also offer tents that you can buy. So again, everything you can imagine is right here in Almacenes Unidos. And we're now going to be heading downstairs, so to the ground level. And there is where we'll discover way more, because this place is absolutely huge. And we're now located on the ground floor of Almacenes Unidos. So this is just one of the entrances. This is where you typically find most people, again, because a lot of them are heading to the supermarket. And again, a lot of interesting things are located on the ground level itself. Besides just Almacenes Unidos, they actually have a lot of these commercial shops right before you enter, essentially, where you can get other stuff that are not necessarily, of course, in Almacenes Unidos. So for example, this is a toy store right here where you can get some toys, of course, and a lot of different kid stuff as well. But also before entering Almacenes Unidos, there's a small playground as well. So there's a playground, a kid store, a toy store. And here to my left, we actually have helado bon. So this is the very famous Dominican ice cream and frozen yogurt. Then heading down this way, we have Cakes by Valley. Now this is what I recorded in Punta Cana village. This is the best sweets pastry store. I love it. I love it. This is in Punta Cana village, and again, they have different shops all throughout Punta Cana and Bávaro as well. And again, right before entering, we have another store to my right, which is called Natural, which is a food and coffee workshop. So this is good for a quick bite coffee, and they actually have very, very affordable pricing in here as well. Guys, we're now located on the ground floor of Almacenes Unidos, where you, as I just mentioned, there's a bunch of people always. But this is a really, really good location because here there's so many things you can buy for your house or apartment, and of course food as well in the supermarket. But let's do section by section here. So first I wanted to show you guys this that I saw as soon as I walked in. Essentially, this is the wood paneling that is not very modern and popular. You can find it in absolutely a lot of houses and Airbnbs, and it looks beautiful when done properly. So you can get that right here in Almacenes Unidos. The price is 465 pesos per unit. So 465, that's about $7 per unit. And you have a vast selection, right, of different colors and that you can get right here. So continuing down this same area, here we can find the electronic locks for your condo or your house. There's a couple of models here. They typically have actually even more advanced models, but this is good as well, of course, because you do have that touchpad and some of them have a fingerprint sensor as well. So for example, this one right here with the keypad is about 14,000 pesos. So that is roughly 230 US dollars for the electronic lock, but they also have the regular ones, right? So there's a variety of pretty much all the locks you can imagine. So continuing down this area here, we also have naturally the regular locks, right? Not the smart ones. So these, for example, for a standard bedroom door, we're looking at about 1,200 pesos. So about $20 for this one. Let me show you quickly, right? So regular standard lock door, bedroom lock, for example, $20 only. So guys, as soon as you walk into the left, you have a very large section that's actually dedicated to the hardware store. So all the tools, all the things you can possibly imagine relating to hardware and tools, you can get right here. And if you don't know how to pronounce it in Spanish, and if you need a little help with that, there's always people right here that help you with all your needs regarding not just hardware and tools, but pretty much everywhere in the store. Continuing down from the hardware area, here we actually can find a lot of different lighting options. I think most of them are for the exterior lighting, but some can of course be used in exterior settings as well. So just to give you an idea, light here starts, well, depends on which, but it starts about 550 pesos. It's pretty cheap. So that's about $9 approximately, or something like that. And then this entire section, this entire wall that they have is actually, oh, look at that, so cool. They have different models, so lots of it to choose from. And again, ranging from $9 all the way to $30 from what I can tell. Yeah, lots of nice option here. And right in front of that, if you guys are into gardening, you can find pretty much everything for gardening in this section right here. So for example, these would be about 600 pesos, about $10 for oil pots. I mean, for your plants, the pots for your plants. All of that is located right here. So definitely a big variety of pots that you can get right here. So still in this gardening section, here we can actually buy different plants. You can buy them right here. For example, you can buy a lettuce. You can buy lettuce. You can buy, let me check what else. You can buy carrots. A lot of them, really. So all of this is full of different plants and also flowers. You can buy different flowers. You can buy lavender. So they have a wide variety of those options too. So continuing down this way, we also have garden hoses. So again, everything relating to gardening itself. And in this section here, for example, you can also buy a chainsaw, grass cutter, leaf blower. So all of that is available here. So to give you an idea, a chainsaw here is about 7,000 pesos, so about 130 US dollars. And in this section, of course, we have the gardening rake. We have, let me check the leaf blower right here, which the leaf blower would be about actually it's discounted, so it's 7,000 pesos, again 120, 130 US dollars for this piece of equipment right here. And right next to this gardening area, there's a door that once you cross, you can see that they actually have a lot of plants for sale. Already here, right? So it's kind of an indoor area that has a lot of ventilation naturally. And you can buy all of these natural plants right here. So just to give you an idea, I'm not a plant connoisseur, so I'm not exactly sure which one we're looking at. But this one, for example, is 620 pesos, so roughly about $10 for this one right here. You can hear the traffic. Exactly. So this is pretty much indoor, outdoor, as I just mentioned. But of course, it's good for the plants, right? So this entire area is where you can buy plants within Almacenes Unidos. guys, just like we saw before, on this side we also have a lot of exterior lighting options, and besides that we also have outlets that you can buy. So for example, the outlets right here starting at about, I think, 95 pesos for the cheapest one, so about $1.5 for something like this. Light switches as well starting at 70 pesos, so $1 pretty much. It's a lot of affordable options, and all of this is pretty much dedicated to lighting and the outlets and everything else. Right next to the lighting area, we have different fans that you can buy. Let me check if I can see this. So this one, for example, is 20% off, and it is 9,000 pesos, so approximately $170 for a fan like that. The rest I can't really. Oh, I can actually. This one right here, right above me, is 6,000, so $100 pretty much. So wow, there's a lot of them right here. And here, again, you have a lot of electric stuff still. So you got the extension cords, you have cables, you've got adapters, everything, again, you can imagine. So guys, just like we had for the hardware section, here we have a whole section dedicated to electricity, electric appliances, anything you need in that regard. There's also people here all the time helping you. If there's something very specific you're looking for, you cannot find it displayed outside, you just ask the guys here and they are very happy to help you. Now guys, walking down from the electric section, here we have pretty much kind of like a bathroom section here. Here, for example, you have all those dispensers that you can buy if you have an Airbnb. Sometimes it's good to have these, shampoo and conditioner dispensers. So something like that, for example, is about 1,200 pesos, so $20 for something like that. There's also the fan right here, which is about 1,500 right now discounted, so $24 for that. Just to give you a basic idea of what we have over here. Now we have also the trash cans. These are pretty large, actually pretty big, but a smaller one like this, the classic step bin, would be about 2,000 pesos, so around $35 US. Now, shower curtains as well, a bunch of them here starting at about 500 pesos, so $9 for a shower curtain. And continuing down this road, we also have some rugs for the bathroom as well. So something like this would be about 1,300 pesos, so about $20 for a bathroom floor rug. And to my left, you will see that there's a bunch of vanity mirrors that you can use in the bathroom as well, all with the 20% off right now. And well, the starting price is difficult because it depends on the size, but approximately 15,000 pesos, so about $280 for a vanity, for example, like this, that does have this LED light incorporated, and you can actually open it and have some storage in it as well. And still in this aisle where all the bathroom stuff is essentially located, we can get a different kind of toilet seats, sinks, and again, mirrors. So all of that is right here. And everything seems to have the 20% off today, which is very nice. So again, to give you a brief idea, one like this, which is one of the simpler ones, starts at 6,000 pesos. So about $100, a bit less, $90 for something like that. Then I'm trying to find a more, oh, there's a black one right there. That's very popular now as well. So again, starting at about $100 and going up to approximately, for this one, let's say almost $200 for something like this right here. And guys, instead of buying a separate mirror, you can also buy a whole set like this for the bathroom. So something like this that comes with these drawers right here. Now with 20% off comes out to about 30,000 pesos. So 30,000 pesos, we're looking at $500. Let's see how good my conversion is at this point. Yeah, it's $500 exactly for a set like this, but you have a lot of options here. So guys, just like upstairs in the furniture section where we saw these kind of mini showrooms, they have done the same thing here with the bathrooms. So for example, there's one right here where they do kind of a mini showroom, so they display what you can get and how it would look at the very end. Again, to give you an idea, this shower right here, $20,000, so about $350 US. We have this entire set right here with the mirror and the drawers, looking at about $500 US. And of course, we have the toilets right here at about $180 US. So this is, for example, one of those mini showrooms, but there's a lot of them here also on the ground floor. Guys, right next to the shower section and the bathroom section overall, we have this entire area where you can get tiles, right? So you can get tiles for your floors, for the bathroom. So there's so many options you can get here, and they're very, very affordable. So typically they are priced per square meter. So let me give you a couple of examples. Let's say this one, right, which is an interior ceramic tile. We're looking at 1,200 pesos per square meter. So here we're looking at about $20 per square meter for something like this. But we also have other options. If you take a look here, and they're usually, again, discounted, so there's a bunch. This is how you can kind of see all the different options, all the different formats that they have as well. For example, this one right here is now discounted, it has 25% off, and is priced at 900 pesos approximately. So that's about 17 US right here. So you just gotta browse. You got interior, exterior, shower tiles as well, anti-slip. And from what I can tell, all of this is ceramic. And here we have a lot of different paint options. So again, in Almacenes Unidos, you can buy paint, you can buy cement, you can buy absolutely everything. But to give you an idea of some paint pricing, let's say this is acrylic paint. I see it's black acrylic paint is about 900 pesos, which is about 17 US per gallon of black acrylic paint right here. And if you come this way, naturally, besides all the different paint types they have, and they also have people right there in the back that do help you if you need any specific color and all of that. But you can also get grout here. And typically you have this right here, based on which you can see the grout. So for example, if you see a particular tile option you like over there, you can simply get this, put it over there between the tiles so you can see whether the grout fits or not. And based on that, choose the grout that you would like. And guys, we're now back in this section just to complete a bit more, because we didn't kind of showcase pretty much everything they have. This right here is an area you can get every possible shape and size of screws you can imagine, and they're very, very affordable. So we're starting at 30 pesos, right? So that's 50 cents pretty much for a whole case like this, right? So there's all of these different options you can get. Now, naturally, I do not handle much of these, so there's some items here I don't know how to pronounce, or in any language pretty much. But yeah, you can get everything you need here for the house. A lot of tools, a lot of different hardware tools, and everything you possibly need. Yeah. Guys, still in this hardware area, we also have some heavy duty machinery I absolutely cannot pronounce, as I have no idea what it is, but all of that is also located right here, all the heavy duty stuff. And continuing down this same area, we've got some more of that to my left. And finally reaching an area I am very familiar with is the Safeboxes. Again, great to have it in Airbnb or your own house as well. There's a variety of Safeboxes right here, and they're all also 20% off, it seems, today. Starting with the small one, like this from Safewell. This one starts at 3,000 pesos, so about $50 for the small one. And naturally, if you want to get something big, heavy duty, like for example, this big one right here, that's about 17,000 pesos. 17,000, yeah, about $350. And wow, and if you want to get this one, if you have the need to get something like this, that's fantastic. You get a lot of things to safe keep. But this one, for example, is 80,000 pesos, so that would be about 1,500 US dollars approximately, but this is definitely massive. So yes, you got all kinds of sizes of Safeboxes here. And finally, moving on from the harbor area, we're now arriving to the dog food section. But not only dog food, here actually you have also, if you have pet fish, for example, you can get a fish tank, you can get everything you need for your fish tank right here, and a lot of different tanks, which I can see right above. And the decor, of course, for the tank. So to give you an idea of the fish tank, they start at about 4,000 pesos, 5,000 pesos, depending on the size, of course. The small one is about 5,000, so 90, 80 US dollars for that one. And continuing down this way again, switching over to naturally dogs, all sorts of dry kibble dog food that you can get, and of course cat too. So all of that is available right here. And in this section right here, we can get hangers for the closet. So for example, we've got different ones from the more affordable ones, like these ones, the pure plastic ones. We're looking at 280 pesos. So we're looking at about almost $5 for how many? I think these are 6. Yeah, for a set of 6. And you got the more elegant ones, you know, they're coated with, looks like suede. And something like this, for example, would be about 320 pesos. So a bit more, about $5.5 for something like that. So guys, remember how we saw the whole kitchen section upstairs on the second floor? Well, they have the exact same thing on the first floor as well. So a bunch of options for the kitchen. We got the strainers, and again, we have the pots, the pans, the frying pans, everything you can possibly imagine. Pretty much the same as upstairs, only perhaps some other things that they do not have upstairs, you can also find here at the ground floor. And say that you're building your own home gym, or you simply want to work out at home, well, you even have that here in Almacenes Unidos. You got the weights, you got the bars, you got the punching bag, so absolutely everything again is located right here. And also not just for the home gym, but also for different sports, basketball, volleyball, so all of that. Now to give you an idea of the pricing, let's say for a bar like this one, we're looking, well, depends on the bar really, but starting at about 2,800 pesos. So starting at, wow, that's pretty affordable, yeah. 2,800 pesos, $46 for this size of a bar. Now we have some weights here as well. Let me check. Oh God, how heavy is this? Oof, so 12 kilos. 1,800 pesos for this. I'm not even gonna attempt this. So $30 for something like this. Now moving on to this section. Oh, look at that. We also have tennis balls. We've got tennis balls. We've got a tennis racket, ping pong. It's pretty, there's a lot You've got yoga mats as well. So if you get a yoga mat here, you'll be paying about 1,300 pesos. So $20 for a yoga mat. We've got the gloves, the boxing gloves, 3,000 pesos. So again, $50 approximately for the boxing gloves. And say you get hurt, unfortunately, and you need some kind of a support, where you can also get that here. So there's elbow support, knee support. So all of those are located right here as well. Now to my left, this of course, if you were to be building your own home gym, you would definitely need some dumbbells. So dumbbells, from what I can tell, all pretty much start at 500 pesos. The ones that weigh, is this 5 kilos? Yeah, 5 kilos. 500 pesos, so about $8 or $9 for this size dumbbell. And of course, if you're going to the heavier section, it's a bit more. So this one would be about 2,500 pesos, so about $34 for the 25 one, the heavier one. And guys, we have now finally reached the most awaited part of this video, I'm sure, which is the supermarket section of Almacenes Unidos, which is pretty spacious on its own. It's got great prices and so many different products. And again, I'm gonna try to show them as quickly as possible, and the most important ones as well, so you guys have an idea of everything you can get here. So we started with this cosmetics section here, because this one is actually the closest to where we finished the previous one. So just to give you an idea, for example, of the SPF, so the sunblock right here, they are starting at approximately 839 pesos, which translates to about $13, which is really, really good. You know, if you go to any souvenir shop, that's pretty much two or 3x this price. So that's a very good price for example, sunblock right here. Now moving on to this area over here. Let's say a simple shower gel. Well, these are all kind of not the simplest one, but yeah, okay. So the simple one right here would be about 300 pesos. So again, $5 for shower gel. So you got soap, you got toothpaste, shampoo, right? So shampoo, for example, something like this would be about 200 pesos, so $3.5 for shampoo like this. Again, pretty good prices. And just to give you an idea of a toothpaste, let's say the most common Colgate one would be 300 pesos. So again, $5.5 approximately. And guys, in this other section here, we have everything that is baby related. So right here we have diapers, of course. So just to give you an idea of that as well, let's say Pampers. 28 diapers, we are looking at about 900 pesos. So $14 for 28 diapers here. But naturally, we have other brands as well. Let's say this one called Kitties with 40 diapers. We're looking at 780 pesos. So that one's more affordable for sure. That's about $12 for 40 diapers, right? Of course, here we have baby formula, which again, depending on the brand and everything, starts at different prices. But let's say this one, for example, starts at about 500 pesos. 500 pesos, we're looking at about $8. And let's move on to the toilet paper area, which is of course very important, so you guys can compare as well. Here we have a lot of different brands, similar to the ones you've seen previously. Let's say this one here, which has 12 rolls, 2-ply. We're looking at 300 pesos. That's very cheap. That's very good. That's $5 for 12 rolls. And right here, I actually see that Unidos has their own brand. And for example, they're selling their own, well, branded product right here. So toilet paper by Unidos, Almacenes Unidos, which is a 2-ply as well. Yes. Oh, but actually this is more. This is wow, this is 24 rolls, 2-ply at 360 pesos. So that's pretty good. For 24 rolls at $6, that's great. And in this cleaning section right here, where we have a lot of different cleaning products, detergents. Again, brief overview of the prices. So Fabuloso, which is a very popular cleaning product here, pretty much everybody uses it, is about 260 pesos. So that's roughly $4 for 2 liters. So that's pretty good as well. We've got a chlorine, of course. Mistolin, also very, very popular. Let's take a look at some detergents right here for the dishes. Starting at 100 pesos or $1.67. Very, very affordable. Going to this section right here. So for the clothes detergents, we have somewhere there. Oh, wow, this is very good actually. So these are starting at 200 pesos, right? So that's about $3.5. This one, which is slightly bigger than the other one, 445. So again, that was $8 approximately. So lots of options here, and from what I can tell, really, really well priced. And guys, to kick off the food section, and generally the more important section, we're gonna start off with water right here that they have displayed. So for example, 6, like a whole pack of this. So this is 6 bottles of 1.5 liter each. You can get for 400 pesos. So for $6.5, you can get this whole thing right here, or you can get 20 bottles of Planeta Azul. So for example, when you're doing Airbnb or, again, short-term rentals, it's good to kind of leave these water bottles for them. And you can buy them here in bulk. So for example, a case of 20 of them here, you can get for only 200 pesos, which is about $3 US for a case of 20. And let's check out the milk section right here. Well, in particular, the almond, soy, and all the popular milk nowadays that people get. So to give you an idea, the brand Silk, the almond milk, which is about 32 fluid ounces, 269 pesos. So we're looking at about $4 per a case of almond milk. And over here we have some granola. Again, just so you guys have an idea, a granola pack by Vivo, for example, is 300 pesos. So we're looking at roughly $5 per granola pack. And guys, while we're at the very end still, we can take a look at this snack area here where they have a variety of chips and just like, quick snacks you can get. Naturally, Doritos, the world famous one, nacho cheese flavored, 200 pesos, again $3.5 approximately. Moving on to Pringles, a case of Pringles chips, we're looking at about 182 pesos, so that is roughly $3 to be precise. And moving on this way, so you got a lot of Dominican chips as well. As I mentioned in one of my previous videos that I did on the supermarket, you can also get the domestic products, right? Not just the imported US one. So for example, tostones is a very popular thing here, which is basically mashed fried plantain, and we also eat them in the form of chips. So something like this, for example, would be about 145 pesos. Naturally, more affordable because it's not imported, and that's about $2 for the case of tostones chips. Now coming to the beverage area, of course, the world famous Coke. Coke of this size, which is 2 liters, so I think this is the biggest one they have here, is 80 pesos. So again, that's very affordable. That's like $1.2 for that. Then you got a lot of Dominican also fizzy drinks that are very popular, and they're typically even more affordable at around $1 pretty much, 1.1 as well. And guys, let's check out the dairy section of this supermarket just to compare a little bit of what they have to offer. For example, the Philadelphia cream cheese, the very popular one, where for 12 ounces, we're looking at about 400 pesos. So $6.5 US. And moving on to yogurt. So we have different a lot of different types of yogurt. Let's say Greek yogurt, for example, starts at about 93 pesos for the smaller package, so about 1.5 US. This one right here above. Then over here we have also the large package, which is about 600 pesos, but naturally that's a huge one. And moving on over here, if you would like to get, for example, butter, right? If you'd like to get butter and a very big portion, for example, this is 1 pound of butter, exactly. So that you can get for 400 pesos, about, again, $6.5 for 1 pound of butter. And let's check out the price of eggs here, of course. Very, very important to check this one out. Let's see the omega-3 by Andy. This is a popular one. So 12 white eggs would be 132 Dominican pesos. So we're looking at $2 for 12 eggs right here. This one actually is discounted. So for 6 eggs right here, by the same brand, we're looking at about $1 exactly, of course. And let's check out some bigger packaging as well. So right here, actually, we have this one. Let me just check a little better. So 30 eggs right here for 229 pesos. So 229. For $3.7, we can get a pack of 30 eggs. And guys, moving on down this section, we can actually find quite a variety of vegetables, and actually very well priced ones as well. So just to compare, all the prices you see here are per pound. So all of them are per pound. So we have carrot per pound, which is less than $1. So it's 80 cents per pound for the carrot. For cucumber, we're looking at 40 cents per pound. For tomato, we are looking at 70 cents per pound. And let's take a look at the eggplant as well. Eggplant, we are looking at 50 cents per pound. 50 cents. And what else do we have that's interesting? Cauliflower, we are looking at this is per unit, sorry. Per unit, in the case of cauliflower, we're looking at $11 or $10 for the cauliflower unit. For sure, because it's imported. But there's a lot of really local produce that is, again, very affordable, as you just saw. So moving on here, for example, cherry tomatoes. A pack of cherry tomatoes would be $1 as well. We have arugula, a lot of different salads as well. And again, it's nice that here all the prices are huge. So in the video, it's also going to be easy for you to see them much easier than in others for sure. So continuing with this area, just to show you guys some of the fruit options as well here. For example, for the Red Delicious apple, the red apple, we have 65, so $1 per pound. Again, very, very good. All of the prices again are per pound, even in this section here. Then we have the Fuji apples, about $1.1 per pound. So all of this pretty much are all the different varieties of apples that you can get. And over here you also have them well packed, right? You can get a pouch, a bag, a 3-pound bag for 300 pesos, approximately $5. On my right hand side, you're going to see, of course, everything that you can buy here regarding fruit. So you can get pineapple, avocado, oranges, all of that. So it's pretty complete, the offer here overall. And what I see here, which is new, well, probably because of the season, is cherries as well. They're imported because we do not locally produce cherries, but you can get cherries like let's see how big this is. So 1 pound of cherries for 430 pesos, sorry. So for about $7. So guys, just to quickly mention the price of 1 liter of milk, or actually 34 ounces of milk, normal milk, right? So we're looking at about 70 pesos, so about $1 per liter of milk. And And guys, let's check out the price of meat over here. So, for example, something like this, which is the flank steak, is so this is a 1.5 pound flank steak. We're looking at for 500 pesos, so approximately $8 or $9 for 1.5 pounds of flank steak. And moving on here, we have okay, so that was of course beef, and here we have also pork. For example, a fillet of pork. For almost 2 pounds of pork fillet, we're looking at about 360 pesos, so roughly $6, right? So all of that is located here. Of course, we got some sausages that start at about 150 pesos per pound, so about $2.7 per pound. And in this section right here, of course, we have chicken. So the entire chicken right here, that is, for example, 3.7 pounds. We're looking at about 300 pesos, again, $5 for a almost 4-pound chicken. And guys, just like in most sections of Almacenes Unidos, you do always have an area where they assist you with stuff. And there's so many employees here, you can really ask just about anybody, and they're very happy to help you as well. So right here, for example, again, we have pork, chicken, and beef. And the prices are, I believe, all per pound. Yeah, exactly. So here we have, for example, chicken wings per pound. We're looking at about $1.8 per pound. Then we also have minced meat. We're looking at $3.5 per pound. We've got sirloin, strip loin. We're looking at about 900 pesos per pound, so about $17 per pound for the strip loin, right? So definitely a lot of options. And also in another section here, we also have the grass-fed beef. So again, a slightly premium version, which I'm going to show in a moment. But yes, you'll definitely have a lot of these areas where you can be assisted at any point. And guys, just to look at some seafood as well, we do have salmon options. So for example, a fillet of salmon, which is almost 3 pounds, we're looking at 2,000 pesos approximately, so about $35 for almost 4 pounds of salmon right here. Eh? Vale, ¿dónde está? Okay, dale, voy. And for example, let's take a look at tuna as well, just to see what there is. So we've got a tuna steak at, again, almost 2 pounds of tuna steak for 1,000 pesos, so about $18 for almost 2 pounds. And they also have kind of a bakery section here. So besides, of course, the imported bread, which takes a bit longer, of course, to spoil, we also have the freshly baked bread. For example, these baguettes, and each baguette is 40 cents approximately. So there's that. There's all kinds of bread, and of course, you can see the prices all around me. So, for example, this is popular here, which is called pan de agua. So it's water bread would be the translation. And 6 units of it. It's very soft, very delicious. We're looking at $1 only for this 6 units of bread, right? So quite a bit. So all of this here. And not only do they sell bread, naturally, but they also sell different pastries, sweets, brownies, and a lot of goodies I can see right here, which should be very affordable as well. So for example, muffins, red velvet muffins, 6 units of red velvet muffins, we're looking at about 100 pesos, so roughly $2, a little less than $2. Down the road from the bakery section, here we have an entire section dedicated to alcohol. We have a wide range of different wine selection that you can get, sparkling as well. So there's so many options. Let me take a look at a couple just to give you guys an idea. For example, Protos, for example, it would be about 3,000 pesos, so about $50 for this wine. But of course, we've got more affordable ones as well, starting at about $15, $10, depending on, the range of the wine itself. And continuing down this area, we're going to be reaching the spirits. So here, of course, we have everything that you can pretty much get anywhere. We have Baileys, but we also do have Casamigos tequila, so some of these slightly premium top shelf brands as well you can find here. So for example, the Casamigos tequila, which is reposado, añejo, perdón, but also reposado, starts at about 4,800 pesos, so that is about $70 for that one. And if we keep going this way, naturally we're going to find rum as well. If you watched my previous videos, you would know that this is a section I highly recommend. We're in the Dominican Republic, might as well get some good local rum. And for example, my favorite Leyenda here costs about 1,600 pesos, which is a good price. It's pretty much what it costs everywhere. And that translates to roughly $25. And guys, to wrap up the supermarket tour, we're going to be looking at some rice options that are available. The typical classic rice here that you can get is La Garza, in kind of the starting point, and that would be for a 3-pound pack. We're looking at about $2, so quite good. And these go up to pretty much, I don't know if this is 10 pounds or more. This is huge. And for example, no, it's 20 pounds. Wow. So 20-pound pack of rice, we're looking at 900 pesos, so about $17 for 20 pounds of white rice. And guys, we're almost at the end of the video. So just as I mentioned a bit earlier, outside of the very Almacenes Unidos, but still, of course, within the complex that belongs to them, there's a lot of different stores, a lot of different services that you can get besides the ones that I mentioned earlier, right, which was the toy store and similar ones in the area. Here actually we have Vita Salud, which is a supplement store, right? So here you can get all of your supplements, your activated charcoal, a million different vitamins. So all of that is available right here. So it's right after the cashiers. Then next to it, there's a pharmacy named Carol. Carol is one of the largest chains of pharmacies in the Dominican Republic. So Carol is located also right here in Almacenes Unidos. And next to Carol, we have Banco López de Haro, which is one of my personal favorite banks in the country. It is a private bank and it's a really great bank, but I'm gonna talk about that more in one of my future videos. And guys, that was a wrap on the tour of this gorgeous and huge Almacenes Unidos store located here in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. I hope this tour was very helpful and you guys got to learn about all the products, again, most of them that you can buy here at Almacenes Unidos, and of course the prices, and hopefully that helps you in your future purchases of home products and everything else for your Airbnb and home overall. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments what else you would like to see in the future, whether it's a store, a different section of Punta Cana, or whatever you guys would like to see on YouTube. I'll be happy to record it for you guys. As usual, make sure to hit that like, share, and subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in my future videos. Have a great weekend, and bye guys.